Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Tired of hearing those other people talk about other retro video games? Well, join us. We always have something new to find and explore. Welcome everyone to 1981. We're now playing all the releases released at some point in 1981 in alphabetical order. We last played Draco, one of the best video games you could play in 1981, if you were in Spain. Let's press forward and see what our next game is. We're now on the Atari home computer. We've seen a lot of home computer games, and that's typically the case when we get these stragglers at the end of 1981 or all the other releases. It's the computer games that really don't have definite release dates. And here's a great example. This is Dragon's Eye for the Atari home computer. We also have Dragon's Eye for the Apple II. And if I remember correctly, I don't think we have a lot of info for the Apple II one, so let's start with that and get just a quick peek of what Dragon's Eye is all about. Starting with the box. And yeah, I was correct. We couldn't even find the box for the Apple version of Dragon's Eye. You can see the box has a gold sticker for Atari. So this is still the Atari box, even though it's supposed to be Apple's box. Couldn't find that one. Do we have any other artwork for Dragon's Eye for the Apple? No. Not even the real disc. So that's all the info we have. No manual either. Let's pop in Dragon's Eye and play it on the Apple II. Released at some point in 1981, this is published by Epix. Nice. Custom DOS. Very cool. Okay, so let's load up Dragon's Eye. Don't know what I'm expecting. If it's Epix, though, I'm thinking role-playing, possibly. The Dragon's Eye. Okay, Southern Software Limited, distributed by Automated Simulations Incorporated, but we know them now as Epix. And then NTSC Color. Yes, we do. What is your name? Chrono. Whoa, Chrono, choose your title. Oh man, that is a lot of titles. The Shadow, the Holy, the Greek. Chrono the Nameless. That's just terrible. I wouldn't be even called that. Chrono the Fast. Chrono the Spade. Chrono the Bow. Let's do Chrono the Wise. If we had the manual, we could look up what these are, but we're just going to go in blind for the Apple II version. Chrono the Wise, choose a sword. Let's start with thrusting sword. Weapon chosen, thrusting sword, yes. You have these spells. Oh, that's good to know. We have a caution, eradicate, health, killing, protection, readiness, teleport, time travel, and then they have the power of, and based on what it is, conjuration, necromancy, thaumaturgy? I've never heard of that one. Thaumaturgy, divination, conjuration. Now, for all the role-playing games I've ever played, I gotta admit, going back in time from the beginning in the 70s and up till now, I have found and seen things that I've never heard of from these role-playing games. Majority of the ones I had played were the Japanese-based, based on Dunjonquest role-playing games, and so playing these Western developed games, they always have something that comes up that I've never heard of before. All right, so let's press any key to move on. I guess they're just telling us we have these spells. We're not picking any spells. And then we have, oh nice, an overworld map. That's pretty impressive. For 1981, we don't see a lot of those. It kind of reminds me of something like Super Mario Bros. 3. Well, here it is. We're going to see what Dragon's Eye is. So the overworld map, I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm hitting enter. I'm hitting space, but it looks impressive. Pretty cool. We have the dark forest, lofty mountains. Okay, but it looks like it was just loading. So day 1, morning, I have strength, health, aura, power, weather, position, and then my move. And then it's looking for a command. So it looks like it's a command-based game or role-playing game. We have to know what commands to type in. Now, when we played strategic games, we needed to know all the commands to move all our units around. For the role-playing game, if we have the manual, that's going to help us out a lot. Now, I believe we have it on the Atari. So, back out of that, that was our taste of the Apple II version of Dragon's Eye. I won't go any further because I want to know what the commands are. So, let's go and check out Dragon's Eye for the Atari home computer. We'll be playing on the Atari 400. And we have the correct box. So here we go. This is the Dragon's Eye box for the Atari home computer. Computer Game of the Year nominee, it says. That is the first time we've heard that title anywhere on the channel. The Computer Game of the Year. Recover the magic Dragon's Eye from the Evil One. Ye fortune hunter of yore. Claim rewards of adventure and treasure. It almost sounds like we're playing something from Temple of Apshai or a Dunjonquest. There we go. In the name of the phantasmal powers that guard the gates of time, I, the good magician and mage of the seven provinces, seven provinces, a hyphen helps, do hereby make known and publicly proclaim the need for a champion. So this is some lore and story on the back of the box. Then we have graphics, color display map. Apple uses high resolution and color. Oh, maybe we don't have that on the Atari. So the map we just saw was the high resolution color map. This is also a real-time game, different every time you play, so possibly a roguelike. For ages 8 through adult, I can't imagine an 8-year-old playing one of these games back then. More power to you, I guess. Complexity, it says introductory, and the playing time is only 20 to 60 minutes. That's so bizarre. It seemed like we were getting into something bigger. And it shows an example of the game shot. I wonder if that's when you're attacking something like a dragon. But look what it says for game contents. It's the book of lore, the command summary card, and then the game program and data files for your computer. I believe we found more documentation for what you would have seen if you bought Dragon's Eye back in 1981. All right, so let's take a look at more images. We got the disc. There's our 5 1/4 floppy disk. It keeps saying automated simulations, but Epic's, or the Computer Games Thinkers Play, is the more popular publisher. So there's the example of the screenshot for the Atari home computer. That's the one we'll be checking out. We do have the manual, the full manual for Dragon's Eye. This is the same company that brought us the Dunjonquest series. And I wonder if it's done by the same person or not. So there's the map. You can tell the difference between the Atari and the Apple II version. Apple II was high-resolution graphics. Now now we have the Old English. Oh, great. Note now thy location upon thy map. This wisdom made available to you through the courtesy of the Lone Sojourner Support Group and by a correct interpretation of the code that follows the word position. Knowing thyself. Note the words in the top left. It's with these. They're doing Old English for the whole instruction manual? No way. Someone scan this and see if they really follow Old English the entire time. There's got to be a hiccup somewhere. You're instructively labeled 1 to learn the number of your numbered days and the period of day. So this is another game that has a, I don't want to call it day and night cycle, because that's giving it a little too much credit. But we've seen video games that are incorporating day and night factors to the game. So it's cool to see that, but they're still very rudimentary. All right, so you also have your strength, your health, your magical aura, your power, the weather, which can't think of any other games we've seen that are displaying what the weather is or what that'll do to us in the game. Then we have our position, how we move, and a command. So to move in the game, you push M, and then move to appears in the bottom position, veritable vision. What? The bottom of your veritable vision? Maybe I should be reading this in Old English. And then your moving utterance has been heard, and all that is lacking is your evocation of the code of your desired destination and your subsequent pressing upon the key of return. Oh my gosh. The key of return? No. The whole manual's like this. So we played Temple of Apshai, and it does have the Old English whenever you play the Dunjonquest series or Dunjonquest series. So to have a whole manual in this, it's I guess it's to get you in the spirit of the game. But man, that's rough. Don't forget to press the key of return. We're playing on a computer. It is not the 16th century. So we have a bold movement, we have a cautious movement, we have a normal movement, we have a non-movement. Those that change their mind to go back to the other one. Then we got some artwork from the manual, a giant spider. You can see the copyright down in the bottom right corner. And then you can rest using R. We can examine things. E is to examine, explore, or exhume exhaustively. And then we also have the weather. So whenever you move during the weather, we have a song here. So they have a song from Freddy the Knave, which I guess is some lore in the game. But man, the lore is deep. We've already seen so many deep lore games. I was not expecting that going back this far. We play a lot of arcade games that go so fast, and then we play these, and it's like blows you away with how much lore is there. Then we have the testimony of the terminal treasurer. To all that read these words, seek to know thereby the totality of the treasury. 10 treasures of incalculable value. Insofar as those who are in possession of these treasures experience a directly related increase in wisdom, health, strength, and a variety of magic, as well as warlike abilities. And there they are, the 10 treasures. The Alchemist's Potion, the Dragon's Eye, which the title of the game, Magician's Hat, Medallion, Secret Key, Seeking Sword, Silver Cross, the Troubadour's Harp, and the Witch's Cauldron. And then V is for Vials. And again, they do a song to explain what you do on the keyboard. That's crazy. So you push V and the key of return, and then it's how to use vials, I guess, to heal yourself. So the battle code, again, they have another hymn, limerick, whatever you want to call it. They went all out with the manual. Now I'm wondering if not having an manual for the Apple II was a good thing instead of this one. It's a little rough. But back in 1981, if you wanted to get into the game, just get in the mindset of having a computer and you're wanting to play a game for a very long time, or play a game that's not a quick shooter or space shooter, I would be into it. I'd want to read and know about the manual and the lore. Nowadays, it's a little different, but I'm trying to put myself then in 1981. So they give us a screenshot of during the battle. You can see they're again describing it like it's someone from the Middle Ages trying to describe a computer screen. See also the inscriptions cryptic that decorate your vision with knowledge. Left upper, revealing unto you the current most updated tally of the supplies at hand in terms of 1 for arrows, 2 for bolts of the magic type, and 3 number of vials remaining. You don't have to describe the game as if you were from the Middle Ages. So you have the monster that's, so at least they break this down. So the manual's telling us what we see on the screen, if you ignore all the other Old English. And then we have the occasional comment of our success. And then these are reminders of the unbreachable wall of time behind the battle that must be fought. It looks like this is in real time, so it's not doing a turn-based role-playing game. And then we have the battle keys. What B, C, we can berserk, we can chop, we can duck, we can exit the scene, we can force the flight of a feathered fate, of which you have only 20. Which F is, I guess arrows. That's shooting arrows. L lets you leap. M is magic. P is parry. R is ready for battle. S, smashing. Wow, all this is just for the battle scene, or the commands you can do for the battle scene. So think about how lost you would be, or how we were on the Apple II without a manual or knowing any of the commands. Incredible. And then we have the Book of the Almost Dead. So whenever you die, it tells you what happens next. From time to unfortunate time, it will come to pass that you, brave and fearsome warrior, regardless of your bravery or the amount of treasures and spells at your command, and through no apparent fault of your own, appear to be suddenly and undeniably dead. You see your image thoroughly fallen, your awesome weapons struck point down the bitter ground of the dirty defeat. Man, see, this is very well written, but it's very lengthy. And then we say the bottom line, the good magician abandons you at the time of your final need to be unavoidably detained by matters relating to his own personal lack of existential validation. He'll do what he can to help you with yours. And then to be reborn, it tells you how to revive yourself or how you come back to life. This is another one of those games that you can save to disk your character stats. And I wonder if whenever it comes time to a point that you get far enough, you save your character stats. So they give the credits to the game. So this one is by Robert Leyland. He's the design and program. So way to go, Robert. And then more people involved in the game. We're now starting to see some games that aren't just a single person. It's very rare for this time in 1981. But I mean, look at this. They even put the playtesting people in there. That's awesome. Other people at Automated Simulations. And then we have the Magicopia section about the aura and the magic that's in the game. And again, they have spells. And they explain the spells here. Look, spell casting. You type S to do spell casting. And then kind of like we saw when we played the Apple II version, which spells we have and how do we cast them. And then we have the spelling dictionary. The spells are ephemeral, a selection of bona fide magic acts, some short-lasting, some outlasting, each of which become fully guaranteed to have significant temporary or non-returnable value to the caster thereof. Incredible that they did this all in the manual. Oh my gosh. And see all this? This is all the different spells you could have based on the things you pick in the beginning of the game. Then we get some nice artwork. And then the Adventures of Willy Wake, which again is more lore on the game. See, lots of reading. Whenever you played one of these games back in 1981, you'd be reading this manual, have it next to you. And then there's even more addendums. Oh, here we go. This is nice. They have an index in the back because there's so many pages we read through the manual. Check it out. Wow. So on top of that, I believe we have even more because we have, the quick reference guide and the scroll of content. So this came in the box when you bought it originally. So this is the scroll of contents about your mission, which is the evocation, tells you about what the good magician says, what the point of the game is. The guardian of the seven provinces, with all the words to call forth your distant and nameless spirit, I evoke, summon, and conjure you that you may beseech thine aid. Even now, as we weave magic in the cosmic loom, the shadow of evil threatens its drunken stench into the very fabric of my powers. I, despite the vast goodness of my magic, stand helpless, unable to shield that which I love best from the desecrating stare of vile evil. The cursed necromancer has set upon me the worst of his dread necromancy. The dragon's eye hath me in thrall. There you go. That's lore of 1981 video games. Someone came to me and said when I first started the channel, how are you going to do a game like Skyrim when you come to it? And this is kind of like, I feel like I'm doing a game that epic, that large. We're going to see a lot of those. I'm doing the best I can, but to do a quick peek of role-playing games of this massive scale is crazy. Yeah, and we haven't even seen an official Dungeons & Dragons game yet. This is... We've been playing games that are based on Dungeons & Dragons and using a lot of the formulas, but nothing's been an official D&D game. It's all using the tropes of it. So this is another manual about... Okay, so it's actually kind of the beginning. How do you get started in the game, establishing your identity, picking the sword, which we saw when we did the Apple II, and then does it explain what it does? Oh, it's just showing you how to select those. And then it says the spells, and then for travel, it says... we saw these letters on the overworld map. It's explaining what it means when you use those commands. And then all the battle commands are here too. And then it has, the goal is to kill monsters, find treasures, get back to where you started from 21 days or less, and are a higher rating than anyone else in the known universe. There you go. We should have had that from the very beginning. So forget all the lore. There's your goal. Kill monsters, find treasures, get back where you started in 21 days or less. So the game is timing you, and you're in a higher rating than anyone else in the known universe. In the game, I guess. We're not playing this online. And then we have the point scale for whenever you finish the game. And then we have, it looks like more map ratings there. And it also came with a like a quick reference card, which is this one. So it shows you the commands, the battle commands, and then then a quick summary of the game. So it's you could read that really long manual or a quick summary of it. All right, with that long intro, at last, let's play some Dragon's Eye. Not just get a taste of it. Let's see what it's like. So at some point in 1981, this was released for the Apple II, and we're going to be playing the Atari home computer version. How it plays, I'm not sure. All right, so right off the bat, we should be building a character the easy way, kind of like we did on the Apple II. Oh, we got music. We got some really nice Middle Ages sounding music there. Yeah, that was good. All right, so what's your name? Chrono. Chrono, choose your title. Let's do Chrono. We did the Wise for fun. Oh, Chrono the Greek? Yes, we're doing Chrono the Greek. I don't even know what that means, but that's our title. Chrono the Greek, choose a sword. If we're Chrono the Greek, let's do thrusting. Did we want that? Yes, we did. So right off the bat, I'm trying the joystick, and the Atari joystick is not working. It may be only keyboard game. So we got these spells. Don't forget them. Write them down. In your notebook in 1981, you would have. All right, there we go. So we got the map. Still looks pretty good compared to the Apple II. They didn't call this one the high-res version, I guess, but it looks excellent. And I think this is where it's loading. And it also said on the back of the box that it's a different game every time you play. So we have different locations, all with numbers based on where you are. East Plain, Dark Forest, Chasm, West Plain. And they all have numbers based on where everything is. And now we know the commands, but what actually do? You just move around fighting enemies, gathering treasure, and so forth? So there we go. Okay, so it's day one. Our strength is good, health, aura, power is conjuration, and you can see they're giving the stats at the top, and then it asks what command do we want. So if I do M, and I say I want to move to 2, what happens? Does it move me? I don't even know where I am. Am I a cursor blinking on the screen? I can't tell. Move to 1. No. Move to C. Well, we'll check the quick reference card because it's not doing what I would expect it to do. So movement commands, when you push move, oh, it's how you move. You move with either B, C, E, M, P, Q, R, S, or V. So that's, I guess, options you have whenever it's your turn to move. So if I say B, that means I'll be boldly moving, is my guess. Move to B. Does that sound right? No, it's still letting me do. Okay, move north then. Nope. What? I said move, and now it's not allowing me to do anything. Okay, so so I can see the cursor now. I'm blinking on, looks like section 8 of the Fell City. And then if I want to do something else for the command, how do I actually, because the joystick does not respond. I have no joystick controls. I only have keyboard. And then it's giving me the command with the BCEM. So what if I just say B? Can I move bold? Okay, I move bold, or my stat changed to move bold, but it's almost like we're not playing a game that's as intuitive. We're playing a video game that's expecting us to know commands to move around. So it's still cryptic. We even have the manual. So I just changed my move type to move, but how do I actually move? So we have battle commands, cautiously move. Okay, so move, and then you change locations, but how? I said to move, but then it didn't let me. So I said move to, do I move to the Dark Forest then? No? Yeah, I said move to, and then where do I move to? I want to move to 4. Yeah, I don't know how to move. So you play a role-playing game, you'd expect to know how to move. Now, even in the Dunjonquest series, there was so much crypticness to how to turn and move left and right, but this one's even more difficult than that. You don't even have a cursor, or you don't have a character for yourself on here. What about in the scroll of contents? Because they did show at the beginning of the game what you would do next. After you do that, the ceremony, selecting scrolls, and then travel. So you can maybe I just try battling, or putting. I already tried numbers. Numbers didn't work, and I want to be able to move. Okay, well, but okay, what if I use M, and then M again? Move to M. Nope, doesn't move that either. Yep, so I am at a loss. First time trying to play Dragon's Eye, and it's beyond me, even with all the paperwork. Getting to the mindset of 1981, I am going to say they have some elements that are kind of cool that they put in place, but the way they implemented it is not very good. I didn't even get to fight. I really wanted to fight and see the screen from the back of the box. So I'm going to go with a bad game. We're going to go, this is 2 stars of all the games we played up to this point. If someone can school me, I'd love to hear. So how we can play Dragon's Eye, or at least get a better idea or understanding of it. So that's 2 stars, and we'll also do 2 stars for the Apple II. We're saying it's bad. I had high hopes too. We had all the paperwork and everything. Yeah, and the reference card, it has how to move, but then whenever you actually want to do it, you don't have, you're explaining the way you move instead of actually moving. So very cryptic there, and we are doing these as a reaction. I am not playing these ahead of time. I'm doing this as a first-time reaction, playing the game to get a fresh look at these games, because I don't want to know what's next. I want to see whatever's next after we do that one. Okay, so let's see after Dragon's Eye what our next game is. All right, we're now in England. Well, actually, specifically Germany. In Europe. So this is the VC 4000, the other home computer. And if you look in the bottom left corner, there we go. Just see that you can see the controller and joystick for this. It's another keypad controlled game, but there's no overlay. It has 2 red buttons at the top, but then a keypad or number pad at the bottom place. Thanks for the feedback. I'd love to know if there's a better way to play Dragon's Eye, but on the channel, when we boot these games up, it's you first play it and see what the first experience is, and then we go from there. All right, so this is Draughts, as they would have said it in England, but I believe this is all different versions in Europe. We got 3 different names on the front of the box. Let's see, there we go. Oh, horrible picture of it, but you can see they have 3 different names. This is cassette 26. And it's essentially checkers. So let's see, no other artwork there. Let's pop in the cartridge and play some drafts for the VC 4000. And there it is. It first boots up, that's the first cue, and then now, does it actually run is the question, because you have to think of the controller in your hand. There's only one joystick at the top and then all number pads at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and start with pushing start, and it worked. Okay, so now the first player, and if I wanted to move around, do I do... There we go. You select which piece you want, and then I'm going to try enter. No? Oh, that. Okay, so then you do that one. And then, what? Go there, and then move the piece up. Yeah, so it's a little tricky to get used to, because you have to know which number on the number pad. Now, I'm not familiar if the Interton VC came with overlays like the Intellivision. It would be helpful to know, but you can see you're just taking the checker and then you move it to the piece you want, and then... Oh, where's my... There we go. So it is one of the buttons on the joystick. Nice. And then you do the other players. Whoever the second player moves their piece around, which I believe I'm using the keypad again. And then you select the piece that you want to move to the other space. And there you go. It's checkers. Or we're in Europe. It'd be drafts. So that is drafts. Checkers for the VC 4000. It is... compared to all the video games we played up to this point, it's decent, but it's a little clunky because the controls aren't using the joystick to move the piece. I had to use the number pad to move the piece. So with that, I'm going to say it's a bad game. We played plenty of other checkers games where you can use the joystick to move the piece you want and then push the button to move it to the space you want. All right, so we're going to say 2 stars again for Draughts. Let's move away from Europe and let's see where we're headed next. Oh, no way. This is it. This is the very first licensed Dungeons & Dragons game, but not what you would expect. This is the handheld Dungeons & Dragons, I believe by Mattel. Yes, so this is the Mattel handheld of Dungeons & Dragons. First people to get the rights for the actual Dungeons & Dragons. So for all those role-playing games we played, here it is. Let's take a look at the box for, yes, adventure and action in the palm of your hand. Dungeons & Dragons. The Action Arcade series of handhelds, apparently. And then if we flip it over to the back of the box, you can see it's a dungeon with 100 secret rooms. Find the magic arrow and slay the dragon. Sophisticated LCD graphics, exciting action sounds, thrilling obstacles, a dragon, bats, and bottomless pits. No, don't advertise bats. No one wants to have bats in their game. And it says safety tested. Okay, safety tested by Mattel. Any other artwork we have for Dungeons & Dragons? Just the example of the handheld, and I believe that's it. All right, so putting on the palm of our hand, the very first Dungeons & Dragons game. Oh, man, yeah, that Dragon's Eye. I'd love to play. It has a cool idea, but that Dragon's Eye game, it'd be funny if your parents had bought that for the Atari computer. How long would it have taken you to figure those commands out? All right, so we're playing Dungeons & Dragons in the palm of our hand. It is very zoomed in. You got to think of it as a little bit smaller, but it's using LCD graphics. Same thing we've seen for the Game & Watch. And for controls, I believe do I just go? No, we got to push start, right? There we go. Okay, so we're level 1, and then the way the game controls is I have a cursor button, I have an attack, a move button, and I have an attack button. There we go. So we started off first. You can see I can move the cursor, and the cursor button selects different places I want to go. And then when I want to move, I push the move button. Oh, wait, move button. There we go. And it has a little animation, and you move to different levels. I haven't seen any enemies yet. But, oh, we got something above. Let's see. Oh, it's a bat. Can we attack the bat? Let's see. No, the attack button doesn't work here. Okay, what if I move over here to the side? And, nope, looks like nothing's there. But you're essentially moving from floor to floor. Honestly, I'm getting Tiger Electronic vibes from this. It doesn't have the background. Usually there's a picture in the background. But you just have one button to move the cursor in different places. And then there's one move button, and then there's one attack button. When I do attack, though, nothing happened when the bat showed up. Yeah, can I attack the bat? Attack really isn't doing anything. Yeah, nothing's happening there. So maybe I move up to the bat? Oh, there, attack, attack, attack. Oh, the bat carried me away. Okay, so maybe it wasn't a battle. He just moves you to a different location. But you got to keep track of where you are. So I'm in C4. I wonder if I'm playing on a grid. D4, and it's using, yeah, there's E4, so it's a grid-based dungeon, not a complex maze. There's F, G, H, yeah, moving down. So you can move to different floors, and then this is the column for it. And I get carried away by a bat again. All right, so for 1981, this is a very good handheld. I would still say a little confusing, but whenever you had this in the palm of your hand, especially if you were someone that was wanting to play like Dungeons and Dragons on the go, you got to think of handhelds. Think of all the things we've seen. The majority of them are time wasters, like on Game & Watch. And this is, oh, attack. I don't know if I can attack or not. No. All right, so it looks like we found arrows or collected arrows, and then now I can attack. Oh, okay, so I didn't have a weapon. That's why the attack button wasn't working. And then I found an arrow, and then I could use that to attack. Gotcha. And it looks like there was a pit that I missed. But I'm just going across the entire row of this area. And the bat got me again, carries me over to E7, looks like. Yeah, this one was pretty big for the time, and I can see why the draw of Dungeons and Dragons. But there's also that whole like demon craze or satanic panic happening. How many parents really bought Dungeons and Dragons as a handheld for their kid? I can see maybe it was older people that played D&D that would have bought the handheld, because I don't see a parent buying their like 8-year-old son this, because there's possibly magic in here and witchcraft, and it will disrupt his mind or something like that. Well, this is North America. It was released. How popular it was, I do not know. I can just see this based on the other handhelds we've seen for the channel. Microvision's the Milton Bradley Microvision is still up there with the better handhelds. Yeah, this one is interesting because it has the grid that plays, but it's still a little tricky to understand, you know, what row and column you're on in the dungeon. Can I move? Yes. Oh no, I fell down. Am I stuck? Move. Uh-oh, I think that's the end. Well, that'll be the end of our playthrough. Falling in a pit without able to get out. I've fallen and I can't get up. Yes, that's true. So Mattel must have had the license for it. This is the very first D&D game we played, and I believe we get the console D&D next year in '82. But we'll have to see as we press forward. Yeah, maybe it's a rare game, but for all the games we played at this time, I'm willing to give this around the average mark, maybe even 3.5 for a handheld, because it is... Oh, I don't want to say it's above average. It's kind of a tricky thing because the Game & Watch games are a great way to waste time, and they actually work really well and play really well. But this one's trying to go for something a little bit more like a character that you're moving around the screen. And I said it got like Tiger Electronic vibes from this because it's trying to attempt a little too much, and I don't know if it does it to the best credit for it. Yeah, so yeah, it's possible it didn't catch on. We'll still say around the average mark. I'll do 2.5 stars for Dungeons and Dragons because I was really excited because we had the first Dungeons and Dragons game, but then I put it in the palm of my hand and I'm playing the game, and it's not really a role-playing game. It's more of an exploration game. But yeah, I'll do 2.5 stars. It's not something that I could see myself playing for a long time. Maybe because of the confusion part of it, or maybe because we just played Dragon's Eye and I was very confused by Dragon's Eye. I hope not. All right, with that, let's press forward and see what our next game is. Oh, here we go. Our next game is other Dunjonquest games. So we have more by Epix. So we got 3 different ones. This is Dunjonquest, Morloc's Tower, Dunjonquest, Temple of Apshai, and Dunjonquest, The Date Stones of Rin. So we've already played Temple of Apshai on the Apple II. This is the release on the Atari home computer, and this is actually a re-release. So the box we see is the re-release, and that's why I wanted to put it here, because I couldn't find the info on the original one that came out, I believe, the year before. The other ones are Dunjonquest games, but they're not sequels. The actual true sequel of Temple of Apshai is Hellfire Warrior. And this one, it's not like a DLC where you have to have Temple of Apshai. And this one's not a DLC either. You don't have to have Temple of... It's like a Dungeon Quest side story of the whole Dungeon Quest series. So for all the Dungeon Quest fans or old school role-playing fans, this is your bread and butter. So let's play first Temple of Apshai. I believe this one was the first one that was available before the other two other Dungeon Quest games. All right, so let's first check out the box for Temple of Apshai, and this is for the Atari home computer. Wow, computer game of the year. New animated graphics and sound. Again, Epix is going for the computer game of the year. Well, who said that back in 1981? I'm thinking of the other publications we've seen. Who would have the authority to call it the computer game of the year? Because it doesn't say it here. Now you can enter a universe in which quick wit, the strength of your sword, arm, and talisman around your neck might be what separates you from a pharaoh's priceless treasure, or the death grip mandibles of a giant mantis. Graphics! It has graphics, which was a big thing at the time. Real time as well. Fantasy role-playing experience for ages 10 to adult. Complexity is intermediate. And then 30 minutes to forever playtime. I don't know anyone that can finish it in 30 minutes. But I haven't seen any speedruns of Temple of Apshai on GDQ. Game contents, you can see it has the Book of Lore, command summary card, game program. I don't know if we have all that for this one. I know we did for Dragon's Eye, but it didn't help us, or it didn't help me. All right, let's see what other artwork we got for Temple of Apshai. And there's the 5 1/4 floppy disk. And like I said, the original was on cassette, I believe, last year. And this is the re-release. Kind of looks a lot better. They advertise it, or at least market it a little bit better. And then there's just an example of a screenshot for us. So we do have a manual. Yes, Dunjonquest, Temple of Apshai. Is the whole thing in Old English? I'm scared to read it. Automated simulations. Yes, we got the credits. So this is by Jeff Johnson. Way to go, Jeff. We love Jeffs around here. We got a few of them. Table of contents. How do we use this book? This is the Book of Lore. Used with the Dunjonquest game Temple of Apshai. Part of it tells you how to play the game and provides you background about the temple and the world in which it exists. The other part provides information about what you'll need while you're playing the game. We suggest you read through the introduction, how to play, and I believe we did on the Apple II. So there's the introduction, what a role-playing game is. So bear in mind, the original Dunjonquest was for the TRS-80 in 1979. And I was blown away that there was a role-playing game like this, like an action. But brace yourself, though. It's just one character that it looks like 4 or 5 pixels that moves around. But maybe there is somebody still playing. We need to find that guy. Maybe he's played Dragon's Eye too, and we can keep asking for tips. All right, so we get characters and equipment breakdown on the manual. Now, if you can't see on the far side, this is a very lengthy manual, even longer than Dragon's Eye. So when I first saw this in 1979, I was amazed that we had this much complexity for a role-playing game. And we have even, there's characters from other games. If you played other role-playing games and wish to bring one of your favorite characters from another game into the dungeon, you're welcome to do so. You can save another character and load it into this game. That's right. You're usually playing as one person, but you can save and have multiple characters. Mind-blowing. How do you play Dunjonquest? Well, first of all, you don't need food like in a Calibeth. With Dunjonquest, this one it controls the character. Oh, I really want to know. Because when we played the original Apple II Dunjonquest and we played the TRS-80 Dunjonquest, it used keyboard controls only, and you had to say like L to turn the character left, and then you pushed a number for the number of steps to move forward. But now we're on the Atari. Does the Atari work with the Atari joystick? Well, I will come back to the manual because I really want to see. Do we have anything else? No, so we don't have the other paperwork like we had with Dragon's Eye. We just have the manual. So hopefully the manual has everything we'll need to play for the Atari computer. It looks like it's a role-playing night. This is Temple of Apshai, or Dunjonquest Temple of Apshai for the Atari home computer, released at some point in 1981. The re-release, the better one, the enhanced version. Well, we'll be the judge of that when we actually play it. And it looks like we're already getting a little slowdown. Let's speed it up. There we go. Oh, well, we kind of sped through the title. But thus quoth the innkeeper, hail and well, it is in Old English. At least this part is. And we already saw that for Temple of Apshai. Hail and well met, shall I find thee a goodly character, or hast thou brought him with thee? Prithee, say yea. We say yea. And then they give us the stats, which, with our money. Oh, we don't get to choose. Usually it says you want to keep this or not, but nope. Once you got it, you got it. And that's our character. What's our character's name? Last person in chat was Ivan. So we'll do Ivan for our name. Wilt thou buy one of our fine swords? Yea, we will. What do we want to buy? Let's go simple with dagger. And the way this is, we played this before. You just pick the number or the letter on your keyboard, and that's what picks dagger. So D for dagger. Feast thine eyes upon this finely made dagger. 'Tis sure to always drink thy foe's blood. Whoa, yeah, that's right. What will you? And you get to haggle too. So in this one, we could say 4. Does 4 work? Done. So we haggled. We got an extra silver. Wilt thou buy a shield? Yea, we will buy a shield. Which one? We'll buy a small shield. What are we going to offer? Let's try to haggle and do 9, 10. Yeah, we got it. Will thou buy armor? Yay, we'll buy armor. And if I'm going fast through this, because we've already played this one on several other systems, and I'm used to the haggling. I'm used to the way we command this game. Just not Dragon's Eye. Sorry, Dragon's Eye. I wish I could love you, but I just don't get you. So let's do leather. What will y'all be? Your offer 30. Let's try 28. Huh? Can we haggle 28? Done. We did it. Will you buy a bow? Yes, we will. A fine bow. What will you be offer? If it's 12 pieces, let's try 11. I didn't see the charisma we got. We must have pretty good charisma. Oh, well, never mind. We didn't get that haggle. Okay, so we'll offer 12. And then we have arrows. We'll do 8 arrows. How many salves? Can we buy 1? Yep, so we have 12 pieces left, and then they ask for monster speed. I'm going to go with medium, because I believe when we did it on the other systems, the monsters move so fast they just killed us off. All right, so here's where the interesting part is. On the channel, when we played this before, and it said enter dungeon level, when I had played the original Dunjonquest, I thought it was saying, like asking the question, yes or no. Enter the dungeon level? Well, yes. And I said yes, and then the game broke. And it turns out it's asking what level you want to enter the dungeon. So I say we enter dungeon 1, because this is the first game, Temple of Apshai. If we had Hellfire Warrior, the sequel, then we do, I think, starting at level 4. So we enter dungeon level 1. So so many things I've learned in the video game space, but it's easier when you put yourself back in 1981, because there's a lot of things that don't transcribe well going back in time. All right, so place the disc of level 1 in the drive and hit return, because if you had the sequel, Hellfire Warrior, you'd put that disc in if you wanted to do levels 4, 5, and 6, I believe. All right, so we already have everything in because this is the re-release. It's all on the same disc. Before, it would have been a different cassette, or you flip the cassette over, I believe, for the first Atari home computer version. Level complete. Loading Dungeon Master. Why do they spell it Dungeon? We already know how to spell dungeon. Maybe they're going Old English, or they want to stand out, maybe. We also didn't see what the time frame for this game is. If someone's still playing... oh yeah, someone might still be playing this forever. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Does the Atari version work with the joystick? No, I'm moving the joystick. Wait, the question mark in the bottom. The question mark in the bottom right is responding, but it's not allowing me to move. Now, if you've been tuning into all the episodes, there was a really cool game we played on the Atari home computer called Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Alibaba and the 40 Thieves had joystick support. You're able to move the character around just like this, the same kind of view, the top-down view with the maze. And you can do all the commands and everything from the joystick. So the first impression of this game is I've already played the Alibaba game, which came out at some point in 1981, and this one is the re-release of the one that came out in 1980, and it doesn't have joystick support. So this is all keyboard, just like we had played on the TRS-80. I am floored, which means if memory serves, if I say 5 for command, it should. Yes, it walked me forward 5 steps. So if I want to move like 8 steps, let's go 8 steps, walk forward 8 steps, and there I am, I'm walking forward. And so the same thing, let's go 4, and it gives us stats over on the far right side, but it is playing the same way as the TRS-80 and the Apple II. The only difference, though, is the graphics. We can actually look like a person. The other one was, I think we were an arrow. We weren't even a real person. So if you saw it on the TRS-80 episode, I think I played it with Chris Alimo too, so it's not really graphically very good. This one's better, but it's still doing the keyboard command. right, so we walk forward 5 steps, and then if we get to the edge, it should redraw. No, it didn't redraw. Okay, so now to turn, I got to hit L on the keyboard to turn left, and now I've turned left. So it's 1981, and I'm kind of thinking about like King's Quest, when King's Quest comes out, that you can move a character around the screen freely, and this is you have to do keyboard commands to turn the character left. Is like, gosh, that's so tedious. But for back then, there had to have been, or maybe there is, like Ivan said in chat, maybe there's somebody that's playing this right now, probably because the controls are so cumbersome. All right, so if you move forward 5 steps now, I push 5 on the keyboard. Let's go 5. Oh, now it's going to redraw. So we move forward and it's redrawing it, which is much faster than how we had played before. And let's move forward 9 steps, I guess, to get to that treasure chest. That was 9 steps? No way. All right, and then I don't remember the command to open the chest. So referring back to the manual, you have to know all the commands, and it's not as intuitive as like an example of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. All right, so this is how to play. There you go, commands. Table, movement commands. So there you go. That's how you move forward, turn right, turn left, and then V is to turn around. And then O is to open doors. Anybody remember playing the very first time you played Dragon Quest, or in North America it was called Dragon Warrior? When you played the game and you came to a door, you had to, in the menu, go to the door menu and then push the door menu for the door to open. Or whenever you're standing over stairs, you had to push the stairs button in the menu to actually use the stairs. So it kind of reminds me of that, but on an even more rudimentary level, where you have O to open door, E to examine. What is G to grab treasure? So G or E, I guess, is the way for that to do that. Let's see. G? Did it work? Okay, I picked it up, but oh, what did I get? It didn't even say it. So I moved 9 steps forward now after picking whatever it is I got up out of there. And you can see that I am slowly getting tired as I'm playing. My fatigue's getting slower and slower. So because you have to do a rest time or a sleep time, I think they call it. But here it is, the role-playing game of 1979 in 1981. I cannot use the joystick. That blows my mind. We're on an Atari computer. We played so many games with the Atari joystick. All right, so walking forward, we're meandering forward, I guess. All right, let's try G, grab that. What did I get? Treasure. Okay, it tells us. Got 20 gold, nice. And my fatigue is better, maybe because I'm standing still for a while. All right, so let's keep going 9 steps up. Did it say $20? Everything's in Old English, but the currency's in cash. In United States currency. All right, so again, I'm moving forward. We haven't attacked anybody. I put the monster speed on medium, but we should have seen somebody by now. Yeah, so bizarre control. So if I want to move, can I grab it from here? You can't. No, we'll go turn left, and then 2 steps forward. Oh my gosh. And then G to grab treasure. $20. And then move back, turn to the right by hitting R. And then how many steps forward? 8 steps. Ye old American dollar. And then 3 steps forward. Now it redraws. So it does have things that have improved over the TRS-80 and Apple II. The redraw is a lot faster, and the graphics are a little bit better. But the controls, though, yikes. Turning right, 8 steps forward. And we still have arrows, too. I guess I should use those. Oh, there he is. Attack. A, I'm too far away. Okay, so I want for him to get closer. Attack. Too far away. Attack. Kill. Kill. Missed. Swish. So I'm just hitting A. That's the attack. And so I'm continue to attack. This is playing out in real time, so it's not turn-based. Struck thee. Did I get him? Nice. And we have an animation. That's good. So before it just disappeared. And there was no animation. All you're doing is reading text. So we got some animation of a sword swipe, which is kind of cool. All right, so if we do V, we'll turn all the way around. And then 6 or 7 steps, I'm guessing. We need to find that guy that's still playing now. Maybe he knows exactly how many steps you need to take. 2 steps. And then we move left. And then 4 steps. And then grab it. Got it. Okay, so there it is. The way that you play Temple of Apshai is the same controls as what we saw before. And I had high hopes that it was going to be the controls like we saw with Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. So for Temple of Apshai in 1981, if this is the game you had for Atari, I can see with all the paperwork and lore really getting into it and having a good time with it. It is less tedious, though, than the TRS-80 and Apple II because of the redraw. It's faster. And we actually get a little animation for this, what's happening on the screen. So for the time, I'm going to give it still a round average. We'll say 3. Oh, do I want to even go higher than that? If anybody in chat has any ideas, I'm doing my best to explain the controls. It does not play as smoothly, obviously, because of the keyboard, but it still could be a good time for 1981 if somebody wanted to play a role-playing game. Is it above average, though? Temple of Apshai for the Atari. I'm trying to think of the other ones we'd played, because in the 70s, I was rating these about 4 stars, because there was really nothing else that you could have played up to this point. I'm trying to think of the other... Yeah, for other role-playing games, it still works and is doable. It's not Dragon's Eye. I'll still say 3.5 stars, so slightly above average for Dunjonquest. There we go. I got 1 confirmation. So yeah, we'll do that one for Temple of Apshai. And then for the other 2 Dunjonquest games, the first one that came out, I believe, was Morloc's Tower. And so these are actually different. They play a little bit different than the other ones, and I don't know exactly what that means. But we're going to find out. So here we go. This is Dunjonquest, Morloc's Tower. This is our box. We have, by Epics, computer games that thinkers play. Or people that want to play games with commands. That'd be Morloc's Tower. Do we have a back of the box? We do. Morloc, the malevolent magic user, has sworn to level the city of Hajdorn by tonight, upon the rise of the new moon. If you're just now joining us, it is a role-playing night on Chronologically Gaming, where we played Dragon's Eye and Temple of Apshai and other Dunjonquest games, and here's the latest Dunjonquest game, Morloc's Tower. This one takes only 10 to 30 minutes. I can't believe that. Looks like we got a 16-page book of lore that comes with it, and do we have it? I don't know if we have the book of lore. Oh, we have a manual. Let's see. There it is. The Dunjonquest Morloc's Tower Manual. So this one is, again, by John Freeman. Way to go, John. And, okay, dungeon design was done by Jeff Johnson. So a few of the same guys that worked on the other Dunjonquest games. Yes, fingers crossed for joystick controls. It's on the Atari computer. Plug that controller in, man. All right, so this is Morloc's Tower. Did you grow up? It's the same introduction it said for Dunjonquest. Dunjonquest is the epic adventure that can accommodate a considerable variety of characters and equipment. Morloc's Tower and other micro-quests provide a single character already equipped for each player. Oh, okay, so it's going to get a player for us. The arms and equipment of Brian Hammerhand, which, by the way, that's the character you play in Dunjonquest. Dunjonquest. Will be displayed in the computer screen at the beginning of your adventure. How do you play the game? Morloc's Tower is our second micro-quest. Oh, did I get the wrong one? I think the first one was the first micro-quest was, oh darn, we did them in the wrong order. Well, we'll keep going with this one and see what happens. So this is the second micro-quest of Dunjonquest. The most basic level you can spend diverting an hour or so wandering about an interestingly constructed 6-floor dungeon, acquiring treasures and things of that nature. So this one's going to outfit us from the beginning. All right, so let me see about how to play. Levels of play. What kind of difficulty do you want? Scoring, got it. And then entering the dungeon, the display. Oh, commands. Uh-oh. If it has commands, it may not be joystick. Let's see. When you enter, turn. Okay, so it's the same thing. Yep, exact same controls that we saw with the Temple of Apshai. All right, so we're at least brushed up on our controls. Let's pop it in play. This is Morloc's Tower, the latest expansion, well, micro-quest of Dunjonquest. And so let's boot this up. This should be, I believe, disc that we're playing on. Morloc's Tower. Hit any key to begin. By automated simulations. What level of difficulty do you want? I'll start with 1. I wonder if that's monster speed or not. All right, so it tells us what we got. We have a broadsword, magic plate, shields large, arrows. We got 20 arrows, 3 magic arrows, 5 elixirs, and we're carrying 90 pounds. So it just says, here's what you got. And I wonder if it changes every time. Maybe it is. It's kind of like the other game we played, Apventure, and they spelled things wrong. I think they did it just to catch people's eye when they're in the computer store. Okay, so we're in. Does the joystick work? No. No, why? It's 1981. You're in front of your Atari computer. Your Atari VCS is right next to you. You take the controller out, you plug it into your computer, and then you're ready to play the game, and it doesn't respond. I just can't imagine how sad that would be if I was a kid ready to play a role-playing game and the controller didn't respond. All right, so that means keyboard controls only. So if I do 6, do I walk 6? Yeah. Oh, okay, it's faster. So if I turn left, okay, so at least we have this similar animation. 3 steps forward. What about D for door? Which one? What? Okay, wait. Turn left again? Okay, walk. No, turn left. Okay, now we'll do 2 space. I feel like I'm trying to tell a robot what to do. Go to the left. That's what it feels like. That's what it is. It's like you're playing where you're telling a robot what to do or programming a robot and not actually playing yourself. 6 steps forward. Okay, is there. Let's turn right. And then move 2 steps forward. Darn, too far. V, turn around. Move 1 step forward. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then we turn right. And I'm having to do all this on the keyboard. And then hit D for door. Open. Which one? What? No, I want that door. Wait, is this not a door? Is it a window? And I'm trying to open a... Okay, forget that. Go turn left. We'll go to the end. Maybe the end's a door. All right, go 6 steps forward. And we don't get any walking animation. It just appears that way. And then turn left, 4 steps forward. Oh, too far. Turn right, and then 4 steps. Okay, there we go. And then turn right, 1 step forward. Let's see if this is the door. Turn left. All right, now door. That one. What? Why can't you open the door? Wait, hold on. The one door down there opened. That's so bizarre. Usually you just stand in front and the door opens for you. What in the world, Tim? Come on, Morloc's Tower. I don't believe it. And it also has some kind of time that's showing us on the right side. Crazy. All right, so if we turn around and if we say door again, does it work right now? If I do door what? Door left? No, it still didn't open. You gotta be kidding me. Every time we played a Temple of Apshai game, the door would open whenever we select. We just go next to it and then say D, and then the door would open. And this one changes it? Why would they change that? So, oh, I see. O is open door, not D for open door. But what did D do? Oh, D is drop treasure. Oh, okay, so D is... Okay, oh gosh. Turn around. V, it's O for open door. Oh man, gosh, and then we can't open... We find the right command, and then it doesn't even work. All right, turn it around. 6 steps or 5 steps, maybe? Okay, 2. Let's do 1 step. Let's try to go to the door we tried to go in. So turn to the right, and 3 steps forward, and oh, open that door. Yes, we did it. And then it draws the next room. Okay, it's redrawing. Thou leavest the dungeon. Oh, that was the door we came in. All right, push D to play again. We started the whole thing over again. Here on Chronologically Gaming, we just pride in being able to open doors in retro video games. We did that for the other adventure games, too. All right, here we go. Let's start it up again. Do we get different loadouts for our character? Or maybe the difficulty looks like the same... It looks like the same loadout, and then whenever you play, I bet the difficulty determines what kind of items and weapons they're going to give you. If you play on easier difficulty or harder ones, I mean, they give you less stuff. That's my guess. Looks like we have the shield. Oh, that's what was on the floor. And then magic arrows, elixirs, and total weight we're carrying is 90 pounds. We look really skinny, but we're holding a lot of stuff. Okay, so that's bizarre. I went to the left door and left the dungeon instead of going to the top. So let's go all the way 9 steps to the top. 4 more steps to the top. Turn right. 1 step forward. Turn left. O to open that door. Oh, this is the one that's locked. Oh, it's still locked. Okay, so it's not doing a roguelike at least. So turning right. 4 steps forward, turning right, 8 steps, walk down there, 1 more step forward, turn left, O to open that door, and it should draw the next room, I guess. Oh, there's a dire wolf. Where? Turn around. Can I go? Oh, he's on the other side. Oh, he's coming through. Okay, so move forward. 4 steps, quick. Go in the door. Wait, I can't leave until I kill the dire wolf? No way. Okay, so turn around. Get close to this guy. 4, 2 more, and attack. It does have that quick animation. Attack. Yes. I have a broadsword. It looks like I'm holding a needle, and I'm attacking with a needle. Can I attack from here? No, I'm too far away. Take 1 step forward. You can do it. Kill the dire wolf. Oh my gosh, the dire wolf moves? Wow. The amount of patience you needed to play. Go! Attack with my needle. Get him. Kill the dire wolf. Let's go. Why is the dire wolf still alive? So my fatigue is going down. I have no wounds. I wonder if the dire wolf's supposed to be my friend and I'm just killing him. Yeah, the attack is going, but I'm not getting any response that I'm actually doing anything. Wow. I'm still attacking. Now, bear in mind, they gave me all the stats and information from the beginning, but the battle would still have been going on. Well, I would still say Morloc's Tower is a around average game for the time. I wouldn't say as much as Temple of Apshai. It seems a little bit more rudimentary, so we'll say 3 stars. But oh man, of role-playing games, we've played so much better up to this point. And so if this was the only one you had in 1981, I can see getting into it and wanting to play it. I can totally get that. Well, with that, we've reached the end of the evening. It was a role-playing night with lots of role-playing games. We still have 1 more to check out for next time and so many more games to go through for 1981 as we close out the year. Thanks so much for watching on YouTube and Twitch. We will catch you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.